Right. We are recording.
So I'm Chelsea.
I'm Luis.
I'm Dora.
I'm Leticia.
And we were under the Jeff for the communication strategy. So some problems being addressed that from our conversation with Jeff is that there's a lack of communication. They need to improve the communication between the chapters. They need to increase mentorship and get more feedback from members. So some of the goals that we came up with is membership, finding ways to increase it, event attendance, mentorship, effective communication to get members conversing and wanting, not being annoyed by the notifications they're getting, and unity. Oh, I forgot about this part. So we're kind of our little goal thing that we came up with is our goal is to provide a strategic communication plan to improve the dissemination of information, which will increase the numbers of member registration, and also finding an effective way to align the chapters and the information shared.
So communication is an essential process in both our personal and professional lives. So in business, effective communication can help foster a good working relationship between leaders and, in this case, members, and which can in turn create a more positive working environment and increase efficiency. So leaders who do know the importance of communication and effectively manage the flow of communication in their organizations tend to share a certain outlook, a certain set of practices. And with that in mind, we thought that if we conducted SWOT analysis for communication, focused on communication for PMI, we would be able to identify strengths that they could build on, opportunities that they could seize, threats that they need to avoid, and weaknesses. So let's start with the strengths. So a few things that we discussed with Jeff is that they already send weekly emails and they communicate through that. So then send weekly updates and they give suggestions and they just keep in touch. They also have a PMI website which they update very often. They have also a Twitter, a Facebook page, and a LinkedIn, which is a great storefront that get the attention of a lot of new people and potential members. And a few weaknesses that we identify are lack of team building activities. And team building activities are opportunities for members to interact with one another and to build trust and to feel more comfortable to give suggestions and ideas. Limited communication methods. So as I was saying, they communicate mostly through email and phone calls and a few in-person occasions. And I think we believe actually that they could expand that to other methods, and we're going to expand that on later. And another weakness is limited methods of documenting information. So Jeff didn't talk about like a formal documentation method to document the suggestions and ideas that are given by the members. So I think they should invest more in that part. So the opportunities that we identified as well were new mobile app that Jeff talked about, and that would be just great because we think that the members would be more willing to share their ideas and unify the members. So we saw that we really noticed that they want the members to feel like they're a family, like they are part of a big thing, and they want them to just be part of that. A couple of threats that we identified were disinterest in mentoring and loyalty.
Great. So we came up with some ideas as a group that might help solve some of these things going on. The first one is incentivize referrals. Give reason people to join this program. Things that might help members to invite others to come to the PMI would be free admission to events. That's just an idea, right? And then free PMI products. So subscriptions, or offer them something that will make them feel comfortable, right, to join. And we go to the next slide. We also have the survey. This will be a great way to know more about what current members want and future members, what kind of information they want for their communication. So we're ready to talk about the app, and we definitely think that should be a big push for the PMI, especially if it's an app that will unite people socially, as well as for the events, right? And then definitely the last point there, understand the member strength and what they really want, what they're looking for. Once they get to understand what they're looking for, then it's easier to solve their problems and communicate easier with them.
Yeah, so just like how Luis and Leticia have talked about, we tried to think of ways to resolve the gaps without really a large budget, right? So some of these things sound pretty simplified, but I think a survey, also the incentivized referrals, all of those things, along with what I'm introducing, which is the micro video, all of these things are accessible to anyone, really, whether you have an app or you don't have an app. There is a way for us to upload some of this information, possibly on the website. I think it would be more user-friendly if there wasn't a mobile app. But I think this is something that can be implemented without even really, having to spend more money. The cost really isn't going to rise because of it. So here are some of the benefits that we thought of specifically for the micro video. You could allow others to kind of put a face to a name. I think that's one of the things is sometimes when you're scrolling through the website, you possibly see other members, and you may see them from across the room when you're at an event, but being able to kind of hear maybe a 10, 12-second thing about what they're doing, what they're working on, could really allow you to feel kind of a connection of, yes, we are part of the same organization, and a little bit more confidence of saying, hey, so I'm working on this, I hear you're working on this, let's talk. So I just did something really basic, if that's okay, Chelsea, you can just play it, but just explains who I am. And it doesn't work. So it basically is just saying, I'm an LDS BC student, and I'm working on a project currently in my current employment, which is Utah Transit Authority.
Student at the LDS Business College. Okay. I'm currently helping with a project in the Utah Transit Authority with their travel training department.
Yeah, so something super simple like that could kind of cut the anxiety of having to, I see this name, let me, reach out. So there's a lot of benefits that for little cost, right? You can update that as needed, as if people want to change, what they're wearing. The camera's too close to my face. There's a lot of things that can be changed, and yet the effectiveness is still there. So just to kind of sum up some of these things that are very basic, if we can just go to the next slide, please. Of what we talked about, like the gaps that we saw, and also basically what we spoke about was to motivate referrals through incentivized things that are really not even taking any more money. It's just, a free event, whatever it might be. Member surveys, which are extremely important, and I think that's what Jeff had talked about originally, and then micro videos. And so we feel that this is our recommendation of how we feel like you could improve the communication between the chapters and also amongst your members.